Welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension post-show. Noah, that was a lot of violence.
I lived for it and I died for it, and then I got resurrected for it.
we live, we die, we live again. Unlike some people on the show.
Yeah, some people are just gonna be dead from now on.
Yeah.
Who's the boss now?
Either Chris or Rachel. We haven't solved the succession question quite yet. What we have solved is that the messy king of Goss, Xavier, is gone.
Oh, he is gone. What are we gonna do? Who are we gonna blame for our troubles now? Who are we going to diss about the performance in the Morgy?
Well, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Eric's kind of the next one in that line of succession. That one's easy. But the power struggle between Rachel and Krista, now that is what we haven't solved for yet. Man, Noah, what a way to go.
What a way to go. He thought he was gonna stab our girl in the neck. Nah, baby. Not in front of Faith. He's gonna get it. Y'all chose that she's gonna refuse the offer to rejoin the Foundation, and might as well, because she was gonna die probably if she joined. Xavier was coming for her, so regardless of if she would accept or reject it, he was coming for her. We knew that, so might as well tell him to skedoodle.
Race J says death cult's gonna death, correct. Right? And it's one of those things. Not only was he gonna kill her, he was gonna kill her in front of that child. Which I get. Listen, I get Faith is experiencing some behavioral problems. We should probably phone Super Nanny about it a little bit. Right. But still, it is still a child.
Mary Poppins, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. She is a child, even though I think, the kind of stories Faith likes, she likes that stuff. I think she likes that stuff, but not maybe when it's her, but she doesn't so much maybe like her mother anymore. I don't know.
No, I don't think she knows, honestly. But hey, Noah, production's going to put up the video that premiered today in the background. This is the one of Astrid and Rachel meeting in the other world once again, and they must work together to avoid being destroyed by the monster stalking them. So the girls are together again.
Yes, much like Layla and I, the girls are here again tonight. We have two from other sides of the world. Both sides are chilly at times, some more than others. But yeah, they got reunited. Layla, what's the name of the monster that we saw in that scene?
That is the Smotherer.
So that is the Smotherer. So the Smotherer, I saw in chat also that people noted where Rachel was like, I don't know, it was just covered with fingers.
That one's not fingers. That one's hooks. Collector's fingers.
Yeah, Collector is fingers. She was referencing the Collector with the fingers. Yes. But now we were hooked on the hooks of the Smotherer. So, and by the way, I'm paying tribute to our beautiful monsters here with my, stuff. I don't know. But I love to see the monsters. They're so creepy, gross. I love that so much, and that scene really was powerful to me. You really start to feel like there's a power duo being established here.
Yeah, just I love seeing Rachel and Astrid kind of come together because they have no context for one another. The only thing they know is that, this person is also here and their child is also missing. But I think if they knew more of each other, they maybe wouldn't get along this well, which is what makes this relationship very fun to me, because they are united based on this one thing, and it's going to keep them going. Whether or not they get to know each other better, maybe, Astrid's doesn't really love Rachel's MLM vibe, or maybe Rachel thinks Astrid is uppity. That's for the fan fiction.
That's for the fan fiction.
Wink.
Yeah. The fan fiction might also want to include Astral.
Okay.
I don't know. fan fiction be fan fictioning. So I don't know. Oh, Johnny Zombie Boy put that up actually. So you see, we think we have something. Our brains kind of are converging, if you will.
if you will, and I will. For folks who were not here with us in the pre-show, however, Noah, it's time for us to revisit that fate and hope system, which, you know, as the drama gets drama-ier, it is time for us to really focus in on how everyone's feeling. So as production pulls up, or sorry, there is no graphic for this one. Would you mind just telling us about the system?
I'll tell you, it's gonna be better than a graphic. Well, decisions, endurances, and puzzles, all of those contribute to whether a character will face redemption, suffering, or domination in the Silent Hill Ascension final, and their fates decided across the length of the season. So what you want to do if you want the character to survive a crucial story moment is have their hopes high enough. So high hopes equals survival of a crucial story moment. But let's talk more a little bit if there's anybody joining us who's kind of fresh-faced baby in this Ascension world. I don't know. Layla, please.
The show is this one's not for babies, but you know, if you're a metaphorical baby, hello. Yeah, it's well, the interesting thing is too, it's the fate and hope system affects the characters for whom you can make decisions, right? So we got we've seen characters kind of come in and out of this. So as Carl departed, now Britt has stepped in his shoes. As Toby departed, you know, we got Eric in his shoes. So these characters cycle in and out, and you see them in the endure scenes, and that is how you can also raise their hope. Decisions decide their fates. But for someone like Xavier, for example, that's a different kind of death.
That's a different kind of death. And it was a glorious one. We all kind of knew we wanted it, but we didn't know we wanted. But here it happened. And by the way, I see that Magic Marmot on a different topic here. He says he wants to see Eduardo in makeup, and possibly maybe we can pull some strings. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. He is, there's the spirit of Eduardo is always with us on the pre and post show. So, you know, who's to say? He just whispered in our ears, "May the merge be with you." So thanks for thanks for that, you guys. Midnight OTW says Xavier was a good character, did a good job at being hateable, disguised as friendly at first. True, right? And it comes back to this thing we talk about repeatedly on the pre and post show, which is kind is not always nice. He's nice, but he's like Minnesota nice. You know, he's not a kind man.
Oh my God, shade on the Minnesotians. I do not know about this, but I will tell you. That's how actually I see all Americans. Just kidding. But like, they lure you in with the kindness. No, just kidding. I'm American too, of course. Sorry.
That was a very spy international woman of mystery arc to have taken there.
Yeah, never mind. Let's talk about Astrid, okay? I want to talk about Astrid. Production, can you please pull that up? Because Astrid, our friend in Norway, she has strong redemption and positive hope. Right now, yeah, it can change. The top decision so far was, what will Astrid do with the evidence of Carl's guilt? And y'all chose to turn it over to the police. The redemptionists won there. So the most heated decision, though, we had with Astrid was, how will Astrid handle Britt missing the funeral? Ingrid's funeral, their mother. And y'all chose Be Understanding, which was actually the domination option, over the lecture her option, which was the redemption.
Yes, the show tends to be a pro big sister impulse to lecture the younger one. But yeah, Astrid currently doing pretty okay. Strong redemption, positive hope. So far, it seems like maybe, you know, she has a chance here. But that's not to say that the path to get to her ending is going to be easy. Because as we see, Orson's violent tendencies are getting, well, I would say like not better.
I think think not better, is that a scientific term?
Yeah, it's just like a drama ear. It's in the same vein.
Well, I am no doctor, but I do agree with you that it seems a little bit not better, at least a little bit not better. But really, Haugen was trying to crack that little nut. And she was trying to use her skills as a child psychologist, and it didn't quite work as planned, I would say.
I don't think a lot of things work as planned on this show. These characters have a lot of ideas. I haven't seen a ton of them come to fruition.
No, the ideas seem to be on the kind of maybe also you could say not good side of the ideas. But yeah, then he not only attacks Haugen, he tells her that her daughter is basically rotting in the ground. That's what he maybe subtly alluded to, right?
Oh, yes. Very subtle, talking about the worms in the ground that are with her. Absolutely. Very subtle. He's a master of poetry. Somebody, I don't know what the Norwegian equivalent of the poet laureate is, but give that child that position.
Oh, yeah. And Atai here also notes that Orson upgraded from bite to full attack. That's like his his character development is also the development of his attack style, like not his attachment style, but his attack style.
Well, if he's biting, you could argue it's also an attachment style.
Oh my God, that's actually true. I feel like you have some medical background.
My mother was a doctor, and she did one time look at me across the breakfast table and sigh wistfully and go, I miss cutting people open, so I do think there's something deeply wrong with me because of her.
And that's how we ended up here.
And that's how we ended up here. So let's take a look at the ongoing decision. This one is going to take place over the course of the week. You all have plenty of time to get at those puzzles, get in those endure streams, rack up those influence points, and get in on this. How will Britt handle her doppelganger's threat? This is a fate decision. Noah, would you walk us through the options?
Yes. So how will Britt handle her doppelganger threat? She could ask Niels to hide their drugs, which is their redemption. Ask Niels for the drugs, which would be the suffering option, or steal Niels' drugs, which would be the domination option. Now, we saw Britt's doppelganger again. It was even gnarlier than before. By the way, I really, really love that scene. I really love the sound design on that scene. I'm totally digging the other Brit spooky voice moments. But she's basically telling Brit that they need drugs right now.
Yeah, our sound designers, I will agree with you, are diabolical. Gotten to work with all of them, and gives me shivers every single time. But yeah, we got other Brit demanding some drugs, and the audience is very, very, very strongly in Brit's corner. Redemption is winning in a landslide right now. Jinx Sprinkle says, shout out to the sign design, so important in Silent Hill games. Absolutely, very important in horror in general. There are some very cool talks about that, actually, if you're interested in some academic discussion of how things get made. It's very neat, very easy to find. But it's one of those things where right now everyone's literally if you go look at the bar graph, it's this much for redemption, and everything else is kind of hasn't come off the ground yet. So it seems like people are pretty invested in Brit's sobriety.
Yeah, Brit sobriety has been one of the most uniting, I think, things on this show. And it's really heartwarming, honestly, because we don't want people to do well here usually. And Brit, there is some kind of emotional attachment here we have. But so when she's gonna, Niels, they're drugs. So their drugs, should Brit use them or not? Obviously, our sobriety clan, we obviously think not, but what does the other Brit want? Is their goal just to relapse Brit, or is there a reason that she's asking for those drugs?
She seems pretty overwhelmed to me, and considering Nils takes painkillers, point A, point B, overwhelmed, wants the pain to go away. Again, it's one of those things where I get it, but I wouldn't follow that path necessarily. But hey, Noah, while we're going to go back over to Pennsylvania, while there is a What If season coming up, we wanted to share a portion of the scene for the Suffering Path. And we wanted to shout out Midnight OTW again, saying, I want suffering more often, but no one comes to my aid. We will tonight. We will give you a special suffering scene because y'all love to see Xavier die so much that we're going to let you watch him die a different way. So in just a moment, we'll get that scene and y'all can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And for hiding from the consequences of my actions.
Welcome home, Rachel. Rachel! You did this!
Mommy? What's happening?
Faith! Faith!
Sorry.
Welcome back. That was the bonus scene, everybody. We did notice that y'all seem to like the direct approach better. Seems like there was some missing of the knife action, and I respect that.
Yes, I understand that. We like the pointy, sharpy thingies. Mama has knives. We all like our knives. And yeah, things got really heated here. I don't know. I started schwitzing. I see that Layla here is joining me in the drama of the multiple deaths of our not so beloved Xavier. But let me start summing up what happened because we are nearing the end of the show. So we had other Brit basically demanding drugs from Brit. We had Orson violently attacking both Haugen and his mother. We had Xavier dying and dying over again because y'all chose that Rachel would choose not to rejoin the Foundation. So stick around in the app. Puzzles, I love them, and you never know what's gonna happen next. Like, who saw that coming? Production, could you please show the next show graphic for us? Because the next show, we're gonna be here soon again. We're gonna be here again on Friday because we have our pre-shows at 5:40 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have the show on weekdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And on Friday, we're going to have an interview with Tiffany Haugen Villalobos. I'm very excited for this. I loved working with Tiffany when we were working on the VO. She's such a great voice actress, a great voice director, and she killed doing Haugen. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited too. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good to see Tiffany again. That's been one of the great pleasures of working on this project is that everyone we work with is an absolute doll. Noah and I are besties. Eduardo and I are besties. Eduardo and Noah are besties with production. We're all just a happy little work family. But hey, thank you all very much for joining us tonight on Silent Hill Ascension in the pre-show and in the post-show and for the show. The show will be back on, as Noah said, tomorrow. And then two of the three of us will see you again on Friday. Have a good day.